Points down in a 31-27 victory over the Mules to spoil their homecoming at Walton Stadium in Warrensburg on Saturday. Now the Hornets try to win their third homecoming game of the season as they entertain the number 14 Bearcats of Northwest Missouri on Saturday. First place Northwest scraped by Nebraska Kearney 14-0 last week. And with that, we welcome you to the brand new Hornet Talk here at 627 Event Space. The Hornets trailed 10-0, only led for the last 9 minutes of the game, but MIAA Offensive Player of the Week and true freshman quarterback Jamison Sarver showed poise down the stretch as the Hornets put together 4 drives that lasted at least 10 plays in the second half on the way to going 5 for 5 in the red zone with 4 touchdowns. Got plenty of clips to play for you from this game. We've got today's specials coming up, brought to you by 627 Event Space, your Hornet Game Day headquarters, 627 Commercial in downtown Emporia. But we're joined by a very special guest who is now on his own, the winningest head football coach in Emporia State history, 117 wins. Head coach Garrett Higgins. I don't get to shake the winningest coach in school history that often at their alma mater, but boy, it's got to feel good to get it with a win like that.
Yeah, I don't know if you could have scripted it any better. Just so proud of the players, and coaches in general. I said this after the game. I'll say it again: is take the milestone, the achievement out of it. That was one of the best games I've been a part of in my coaching career. Okay, like I said, we were down 10 points like every quarter. And for us to win that game, we shut them out in the fourth quarter. We scored 14 points with a true freshman quarterback, who was 7 for 7 in that fourth quarter too. So just again, that was a great win for us.
It was so much fun, and let's get into the highlights here. Some of the specials tonight: a chicken mac and cheese bowl, $5 with sides. You can get ribbon fries, home fries, all that, $5. I know you found your new go-to here in the new restaurant this year. Coach Higgins eats here every night. You will love it too here at 627 Event Space, downtown Emporia. And a reminder, welcome those of you listening online, kvoe.com/listen, and also streaming on the ESU Athletics YouTube channel if you're watching tonight. Really appreciate you being here with us. So let's get started today with Emporia State. They hold UCM on a field goal, first drive of the game before the team started trading punts for a little while. Then down 10-0 after a Mule touchdown. Emporia State needed a spark, and they got it on the first deep pass play by freshman Jamison Sarver to another freshman Hornet. Second down and 7 for the Hornets, trailing 10-0. They're at the Mule 47-yard line. Sarver wants to take a deep shot. He's got a man wide open inside the 10, diving and making the catch at the 5-yard line. It's another freshman, Andre Beasley, all the way down at the 5. Jeff, I should have saved your big play for that one. The Hornets with first and goal at the 5-yard line. Jeff Bay and Jeff Williams for our Remax Tech Real Estate big play of 30 yards or more. And boy, it really seemed like that play right there, freshman to freshman. First, how exciting is that? But secondly, man, it seemed like that just gave not that Jamison needed an injection of confidence, but boy, it just gave him the confidence of, all right, I can play with these guys.
Yeah, I think not only did it give him confidence, I think it really got the momentum on our side. We needed something big to happen right there. We were down 10-0, and we had good field position and felt like that was the right time to call it. And we had great protection. And again, the special thing about that is you got two true freshmen right there connecting for a big play in a big game.
And the big play, obviously, you want to take advantage of it. Couple of stuffs in the red zone by Central Missouri. You line up for a quarterback sneak, but turned out to not be much of a sneak at all. Under center is Sarver. Push formation. They're going to flip it near side. Touchdown Emporia State. Camden Crooks. They thought they were going for the tush-push, the quarterback sneak. Instead, it was a toss left. Camden Crooks, the Andover product. is in for his third rushing touchdown of the year, and the Hornets are on the board with 1:03 left in period one. It's 10-6 Mule. And boy, you get guys lined up, and the Philadelphia Eagles have made that play so popular, but every once in a while you'll catch teams napping, and boy, that seemed like that was a perfect call right there.
Yeah, again, it is something that we've had in ready to run the last, I think, 3 weeks maybe, and we finally had an opportunity to call it, and we got it down there close enough and broke the huddle. We sugar huddled and ran to the line, and you're right. They got in there and thought we were going to run the sneak, and then we just flipped it out there to Cam Crooks, and he was able to punch it in.
How much does going into like what you called plays previously, because you've actually run that with Ben quite a bit, and you guys ran it pretty effectively, got a couple of first downs out of that. How much of that goes into, okay, well, here's what we're going to show, but then here's the wrinkle in the playbook?
Yeah, I think that, you look at what you've done, your self-scout, and how many times, like you said, you've noticed us running that with Ben. Well, we ran it enough that we needed to have some type of play off of it. And we do that. If you go back the last 2 or 3 weeks, we've ran a reverse a certain way. We had the double pass off the reverse, right? We've had the reverse. We've had a screen off of it. So it really just kind of depends on how long or how many times we've ran a certain play.
Then, as you mentioned, Emporia State was chasing that one possession all game long. Teams were continuing to trade back and forth. ESU back down by 2 scores, but then it was Sarver's turn to get his first touchdown pass. This time he didn't go to a newcomer. He went to a veteran target. Bennett in motion, makes the catch inside the 3, and he bounces into the end zone. Touchdown, Emporia State. Kingsley Bennett bouncing off the mule hit. 5:06 to go in the first half, and Emporia State gets onto the board with a passing touchdown. It is a first career passing touchdown by Jamison Sarver, and the Hornets are back within 1 score. And it certainly felt like at that point he was in a groove, in a rhythm, and we'll ask you about the play of the wide receivers a little bit later, but they made some big catch. And then the Hornet defense, you guys started to stiffen up a little bit against that quarterback running game. They're ready to snap it here, and now they'll delay a little bit. 3 receivers far side, 2 to the near side. They'll snap it at 25. Omolo with the running play, and he stopped short. The Hornets got him. The Hornets stopped him short. They tried the quarterback draw, but Carlos Strong Jr. bashed him after only a yard. It felt like there wasn't like that one marquee Landon Boss sack in the game or a big interception, but it just felt like they scored their 27 points, but just felt like the defense was just solid all game long.
No question. They bend but don't break. I thought that, look, Central Missouri's a good offense. They've always had a good offense. And I thought we held our own right there. And the big thing, I think, if you look at how we played defensively, Blake, is we didn't give up the big plays, the things that hurt us in the UCO game. Our guys did a really good job of keeping everything in front of them.
Looking later in the second half, down by 10 at the break, ESU drives for a field goal to keep the Hornets within a score. They give up a field goal, but then Emporia State answers very early in the fourth on a pass to Emporia State's newest offensive weapon, the Maverick back. First and 10 for the Hornets at the 11-yard line with Camden Crooks to the left of quarterback Sarver. Sarver over the middle. He's got a man. Touchdown, Emporia State. They go to the Maverick back. It's Max Middleton makes the catch, and the Hornets get the touchdown they needed, and 30 seconds into this fourth quarter, they are back within 1 score. How about a guy that's never had a touchdown receiving before? That was his career long. He's only ever had 1 catch in a game before. I think it's the 4th or 5th career catch he's ever had, and boy, that was a big time to go to the Maverick back right there.
No question. We felt like that, hey, just those stats you gave right there is going to tell you that he's probably going to be open, right? Nobody's paying attention to him. He hadn't done much, so but it's good to see Max get in the end zone. He had scored a rushing touchdown, I think, 2 or 3 weeks earlier, or against Missouri Western. He had scored a rushing touchdown, and Max, again, just someone who's been a part of our program, and he's played a little bit, and he's had a role.
And it feels like in that position, he's been doing some dirty work for you guys.
No question. I mean, he that is exactly right, and he's a utility guy, dirty work guy. He's physical. You have to have somebody physical at that position, biggest problem we got with Max right now is we got to keep the weight up with the weight on him, so because he's in there blocking linebackers, defensive ends,
Sure.
and like you said, he's doing dirty work. We got to make sure we keep those pounds on him.
ESU next drive, 3 and out, but then a stop by the Hornet defense, and then finally, with less than 10 minutes to go, Emporia State earned the lead. From the 3, the Hornets down 27-24, under 10 minutes to play in the game. They've never led. Handoff, turns, tries to go middle, now bounces to the left. He dives, touchdown Emporia State, and the Hornets have their first lead of the afternoon. So Kern's on the ground, the second Hornet to score, and then the last drive for Central Missouri. Couple of heart-stopping moments, but one final defensive play to seal the win. The Mules are going to line up here. They need 19 to continue the game. 20 seconds left. Here is Amolo in the shotgun, running out of time. Scrambling to the near side, throws. He's got a man, and it's going to be broken up. Incomplete. Figueroa knocks it to the ground, and the Hornets will come on the road. Their rookie quarterback will get a win, and they will spoil Mules' homecoming. You get that win on the road, and obviously you would have liked if that first one could have been knocked away, but it made it a little bit more interesting. Just a great play by Wasson, but once again, you guys didn't panic defensively. You keep things in front, and you get the knock away, and after that, boy, just an incredible hour of football for you guys.
Yeah, it was the best formation in football, victory formation after that.
Sure.
So that was.
And you like big plays, but that's your favorite play to call, isn't it?
There is no question. That is the best play in the playbook.
is that what you call just victory?
Victory. That's it. Victory formation.
That's an easy call.
That is an easy call.
You probably don't even have a hand signal for that one.
Nope, just yell it.
Let's take a timeout. We'll talk more about that victory, the 117th victory for Coach Higgins in just a moment. As we get set, it's Hornet homecoming week. Emporia State taking on Northwest Missouri. It is a 2 p.m. kickoff on Saturday. So our RV Doc pregame show begins at 1 o'clock. We'll have that for you from Welch Stadium on Mix 104.9. More here from 627 Event Space in a moment. Live from 627 Event Space, this is Hornet Talk. You're listening to Emporia State Football.
As the leaves fall, it's the perfect time to grow your financial know-how. At Emporia State Federal Credit Union, they believe in helping you create a strong financial future. Whether you're learning to budget, save for the holidays, or plan for the new year, they're here to help every step of the way. Free courses and calculators can be found by clicking on the banner at esfcu.com or text or call them today, 620-342-2336. Federally insured by NCUA.
Newman Regional Health Medical Partners is proud to provide the same orthopedic and sports medicine care trusted by the athletes on the Hornet fields. Their expert medical team serves the greater Emporia area with comprehensive treatment for sprains, fractures, joint pain, and sports-related injuries. Trusted by athletes and available to everyone. Schedule your appointment today with Newman Regional Health Medical Partners at 620-343-2376. Newman Regional Health, achieving healthy goals.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, two-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
For a free personal protection review, contact Shelter Insurance Agent Dave Watts.
It's time to fall forward into football season and cheer on your favorite team. So why not get new gear for you and your family at Sports Connection? Sports Connection carries Emporia High and area high school team apparel, as well as ESU, KU, and K-State gear. They also do custom screen printing for your team, booster club, or your family and fans. Catch the spirit with new fan gear from Sports Connection. Sports Connection, 2721 West 15th Emporia.
Headed to the game or celebrating after? Swing by 627 Event Space Bar and Grill. Whether you're grabbing a burger before kickoff or winding down with a beer after the buzzer, 627 has you covered. Emporia's go-to spot for great food, cold drinks, and unbeatable vibes. 627 Event Space Bar and Grill, the new home for Hornet Talk at 627 Commercial. Proud supporters of the Emporia State University Hornets. Stingers up!
Do you have a new driver in the family? Start them off with just more than the fundamentals of driving from point A to B. Make sure they understand what actually keeps their car reliable and on the road and safe. At Black Creek Diesel Automotive, they can schedule regular maintenance with oil changes, tire rotations, and more. Visit blackcreekdieselautomotive.com or give them a call at 620-343-0086. A safe car helps make a safe driver. Black Creek Diesel Automotive, 3105 West 6th, here in Emporia.
Mix 104.9.
Well, it's homecoming week, but it's also Halloween week. And Emporia State, they got a ton of homecoming activities. And the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, they are hosting Trunk or Treat for the little ones. That's coming up tomorrow. That'll be 6 to 7 p.m. at the ESU Rec Center. It is free, but the Washburn game, not that we're overlooking homecoming at all, but the Washburn game's not too far away. And the non-perishable food items you donate there, Can the Bods is coming up, obviously raising food for KVOE Drive for Food is part of that. So that would benefit Corky's Cupboard, and it's part of the Can the Bods effort for food donations for the Emporia community. So not too early to start thinking about canning the Bods. So Trunk or Treat from the Student Athlete Advisory Committee. It is tomorrow, 6 to 7. Come on out. Kids will get to meet some Hornets and Lady Hornet athletes from many different Emporia State sports tomorrow, beginning at 6 at the ESU Rec Center. Back here with head coach Garen Higgins as Emporia State gets the win on the road at Central Missouri, 31-27. Boy, Coach, you've talked this year about, hey, we've earned our record. We are where we are. In terms of that win, man, you guys earned that win on the road.
Yeah, no question for us to, again, playing with a freshman quarterback and their homecoming, and they were coming off a bad loss.
Yeah, both teams were feeling, both wanted to rebound.
Right. They had come off a loss to Washburn where they had 7 or 8 turnovers, and we knew going in to the game that they were going to put their best foot forward, and I'm sure their coaches were on them that week. And our guys just our backs were against. I feel like every time our backs have been against the wall this year is this team has risen to the occasion, and that's what I really like about this group is that there are times we make some mistakes and it hurts us, and we're working on that to get better at those things. But at the same time, every time that we've been backed in a corner, we've come out swinging. And I've said it all along that this is a very competitive group. This is a very competitive team that we have.
Well, it felt like you guys really showed that because you guys had to answer because you were chasing a possession almost the whole game. And you guys in this one able to show that you were able to answer and you guys were able to keep there. I wanted to ask about that first drive for Central Missouri. How big was that in your mind, being able to hold them? Because they got that pretty deep into the Hornet red zone. How big was that to hold them to a field goal to start the game?
Yeah, I think that was huge. I think that, we had talked about getting off to a fast start.
Yes.
All right. So, we didn't give up a touchdown. We gave up a field goal. So, I think you take that for what it's worth. We felt like that our guys needed to elevate their play.
Sure.
And I felt like that our guys did in a lot of different positions. And then we felt like that if we could get it to the fourth quarter and keep it close, that we felt like we could out-tough them. We truly felt that way, and that was the case because we did.
Yeah, you absolutely did. And obviously one guy that showed some toughness, and we didn't necessarily know going into the game, but Jamison Sarver, the MIAA Offensive Player of the Week, by the way, he was down with the bug all week and feeling a little bit sick. What was your feeling going into that game, knowing you were going to start the true freshman quarterback?
You know what? I don't. That's a great question. I wasn't nervous about him getting a start. I think that one of the things that we did is Coach Gleason got in contact with Braxton Marstall.
I wanted to ask you about that.
And Braxton was, the last true freshman quarterback that we've started in 2014. We went on the road and beat Missouri Western. The only difference is Braxton had played a little bit the previous week. because our quarterback got hurt. And so he had a little bit of experience under his belt, like two and a half quarters.
Sure.
All right. Well, Jameson had 0. All right. So, and if there's anybody that's going to be able to relax Jameson, is going to be Braxton Marstoff. So we thought that was good. And I think it helped. I really do, and again, Braden just having a young quarterback coach that Jameson can bend his ear and rely on. I mean, Coach Gleason's been through the fire,
Sure.
And he even, back when he was a redshirt freshman, he had to start a game. So there at the end of the year. So he's kind of been through it too as well. So I wasn't really nervous. I just didn't know how, when you go in starting a freshman quarterback, sometimes you like, I felt good about how he had practiced all week, how he knew the game plan. I think you worry about things like flagging the football and getting sacked and turning the ball
Sure.
over, kind of making a bad throw into, where there's a lot of guys, just a throw that he shouldn't make, being young. But, he never really did that. We got to keep him a little bit more of a two-handed monster when he's in the pocket. But for the most part, man, it was like he was a cool customer back there.
Well, not only that, but how about 0 turnovers for
Man,
the team?
That was huge, and again, that was a big part of us winning that game is valuing the football.
I didn't check with Don here, but in the MIAA release, because he was the MIAA Offensive Player of the Week, you mentioned first true freshman to start at quarterback for Emporia State since Braxton Marstoll in 2014. And he said it says it's the first true freshman to make his Hornet debut at quarterback in a starting role. Maybe, I don't know if that's in the history of the program, but wow, for a guy to come in like that. I mean, it's just different when you're the quarterback having to come in and do that. Offensive line, we're talking with Coach Hoops here in just a second. Jackson Hoops will be a guest on the show. Peyton Taylor, the cornerback, he'll be our defensive guest today, but mentioning Jackson Hoops, since he's working with the offensive line, the offensive line, I think maybe, not that you haven't had some good ones, you've graduated an All-American, but as a group, I feel like this group is maybe playing the best at that position that they've played since I've been here.
Yeah, they're doing a great job, and I think that, again, with that group, the toughness that group has, they got some grittiness to them. Coach Cash does a great job with that group, gives them an opportunity to be successful and play to our strengths. And they're playing with confidence right now. And I think that, again, we talked about elevating play, and that group elevated their play. I mean, there was one sack that he took that he probably could have got the ball off. But besides that, man, they kept him upright, all day to where he felt comfortable back there.
You love to see it. Hornets are 4-4, 3-3 in the MIAA. They'll take on the 7-1 Northwest Missouri Bearcats, who are 6-0 and in first place in the MIAA for homecoming on Saturday, 2 o'clock for the kickoff at a 1 o'clock RV Doc pregame show, and that'll be on Mix 104.9. Let's take a timeout. Let's bring up Jackson Hoops, the GA assistant on the offensive line. After this, live from 627 Event Space, this is Hornet Talk. You're listening to Emporia State Football.
The road to adventure is calling.
Road trip!
If you're planning a road trip, be sure to schedule your maintenance with Black Creek Diesel and Automotive first. Oil changes, alignment, brakes, and tires, everything you need to keep your car cruising. And they'll even give you a free digital inspection. Hit the road with peace of mind. Give them a call today. Black Creek Diesel and Automotive, 620-343-0086. Or stop by 3105 West 6th in Emporia.
As the leaves fall, it's the perfect time to grow your financial know-how. At Emporia State Federal Credit Union, they believe in helping you create a strong financial future. Whether you're learning to budget, save for the holidays, or plan for the new year, they're here to help every step of the way.
Here comes the rookie quarterback, the true freshman, Jamison Sarver. Got to be feeling the nerves as he steps over the white line as his college career begins. Sarver wants to take a deep shot. He's got a man wide open inside the 10, diving and making the catch at the 5-yard line. It's another freshman, Andre Beasley. Under center is Sarver. Push formation. They're going to flip it near side. Touchdown Emporia State. Camden Crooks. Bennett in motion. Makes the catch inside the 3. And he bounces into the end zone. Touchdown Emporia State. Kingsley Bennett. And the Hornets are back within 1 score. Sarver over the middle. He's got a man. Touchdown Emporia State. It's Max Middleton. Handoff turns. He dives. Touchdown Emporia State. And the Hornets have their first lead of the afternoon. Their rookie quarterback will get a win, and they will spoil Mules' homecoming. Emporia State 31, the Mules 27. A record broken for ESU. With that win, head coach Garen Higgins, 117 career wins. He is the winningest head coach in Emporia State history on his own. Garen Higgins.
One, two, three, family!
Winding down with a beer after the buzzer. 627 has you covered. Emporia's go-to spot for great food, cold drinks, and unbeatable vibes. 627 Event Space Bar and Grill. The new home for Hornet Talk at 627 Commercial. Proud supporters of the Emporia State University Hornets. Stingers up!
Mix 104.9.
Lady Hornet basketball working very, very hard to get set for the season. Schools out, Hooper Treat Skills Camp. There's a lot of local schools that are out here this week. So if you need to get the kids something to do, get them out of the house a little bit, or maybe some preemptive burning off of those calories that they're going to get from all that chocolate on Halloween, they've got Schools Out Hoop or Treat Skills Camp coming up 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Emporia State University Rec Center on Thursday and Friday. It's $70 for that, and the Lady Hornets will be hosting that. I'm sure Coach MJ will be a part of it. They'll be excited to have you out there for Schools Out Hoop or Treat Skills Camp coming up on Thursday, October 30th, and then again on Halloween, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the ESU Rec Center. We've talked so much about the offensive line, how well they are playing. We're now joined by a graduate assistant on the offense, helping out on the offensive line. Jackson Hoops joining us here on Hornet Talk to talk about the Emporia State offense. Coach Hoops, so great to have you on, as always.
Thanks.
Oh, I like that. I hear some hoops in the background.
Thanks for having me.
I'm sure as an offensive lineman, you don't get those chances as much as maybe a position player, but great for you in here, and deservedly so. I mean, how great do you and Coach Cash feel about the way that your guys are playing up front? Man, I just feel like as a five-some, you guys, they're just playing so well and just so connected right now.
Yeah, there's no question. They're playing well up front. We're led by two guys on the left side who played a lot of football for us. And, the biggest thing is we are getting better every single game, and excited to see what this team can do for the rest of the year.
I was going to ask this question to Coach Higgins here later, but I'm going to ask it to you instead because I think it speaks to how you guys are playing right now. But in the second half, you guys had 1 3-and-out, but all the rest of the drives in the second half were at least 10 plays. Field goal, touchdown, 3-and-out, touchdown, and then you don't get a score on the last drive, but you were thinking going in, I think I mentioned on the air, like this is the time when you need to find that 4-minute drill here, take some time off the clock. You guys take 5.5 minutes off the clock. You leave them with about 1.5 minutes, no timeouts, and the offensive line, it was un-Hornet-like in a sense that it wasn't high tempo, but man, it just felt like you grinded them and wore them down in the second half.
Yeah, no, for sure. As an offensive lineman, there's really nothing better than a 4-minute drill.
Sure.
Especially, in our offense, it gives our guys a little bit chance to catch their breath a little bit, more than they're able to, normally. But, yeah, being able to line up and run the ball and, especially a couple of weeks ago when we ended the game and 12 personnel 3 times to get a first down and win the game. I'm telling you, there's nothing better as an offensive lineman.
Coach Cash was pumped. We saw him there on the sideline you needed 1 yard or got 3, however much it worked out. But what a great job. And I wanted to ask you about a couple of guys in particular. How big is Talon Wheeler's leadership? A guy who's a captain there on the offensive line, and I know that someone who came in and wasn't really a demonstrative leader, but then now has been voted captain by his guys and has been such a big part of your success up front on the left side.
Yeah, Talon's been great. I saw a really big jump from him once all those guys, Sherman Deaton left, and he's filled his shoes really well. He's been great for us, and he continues to be great. He's kind of that guy on the offensive line that isn't afraid of anybody else's opinion. So he's not afraid to speak his mind, and he does a really good job up front.
How about Travion Mitchell, a guy at left tackle, and he's always so fun to talk to. He's such a great personality and a smile, and a guy that's in such great shape for an offensive lineman and is so athletic at the left tackle spot.
Yeah, Trey's playing really good football for us right now. He's playing like an all-conference guy. He's been great. Holding down the left side of an offensive line is always tough. You always have a lot on your plate. We ask a lot of Trey, and he's done a really good job so far this year.
We're talking with graduate assistant Jackson Hoops, Emporia State football, getting set to host homecoming against the number 14 Northwest Missouri State Bearcats coming up on Saturday. How about Leitz at center? He's been, the center's always got a little bit more of an extra plate in terms of getting the snap count, and he seems to be engineering things quite well up front for you guys.
Absolutely. One thing about Brody is that he's orchestrated our offense really well. He plays so much faster because of him. He's one of those guys where last year he was started as 2, and his first game was in the jungle under the lights, and came out and played really well, and he's played well ever since. So, he's been great for us as well.
How much pride do you guys have when you go into this game now and you guys on the season here are averaging 115 yards per game on the ground? You got 12 rushing touchdowns, and you're not getting eye-popping, kind of rushing numbers like, maybe Nebraska Kearney was getting before their guy got hurt, but it just seems like you guys are getting tough yards so consistently when you need a 3rd and 3 or a 4th and 2. You guys are able to come up with those yards, and the running game has just been so effective for you guys.
Yeah, it's just a testament to our guys. They're playing a lot better than we did last year. We're holding, they're just grittier. I feel like it's just something that it's the mentality change that we've had in our guys. And
what do you think? What's been the source of that mentality change? Can you put your finger on it?
I just think that, we had a lot of doubters coming into the season. We didn't have a lot of returners, a lot of snaps played, and I think our guys kind of wanted to show what they could do, and it's been fun to watch.
What's it been like for you here to kind of grow in this program out of Northern Colorado, now in your second year here as a graduate assistant? What's this experience been like for you at Emporia State?
Oh, it's been great. I kind of joked. I've already won more games as a coach than I did as a player. But no, just to be around winning and being around the coachings, Coach Cash, Coach Haig have been great first bosses. Coming into it, I think my first day on the job was spring ball practice number 1. So to have a veteran group there kind of helped me out, has been huge for me. But, this place has kind of welcomed me with open arms, being one of the few guys that haven't played here. And it really is like a second home for me. We
love having you here, and sad that you didn't get as many wins at Northern Colorado, but certainly glad that things have worked out well here. What's obviously typically GA positions are only 2 years, and then guys cycle out. That's kind of the nature of the business. What do you feel like your future is, and now do you have a different idea of what you'd like to do after your graduate assistantship is done versus when you came in? What are your plans?
That's something that I'll kind of have to focus on a little bit more after the season.
Sure, for sure. All hands on deck for Northwest Missouri.
But I wish I knew exactly what the future holds, but I'm excited for it. And like I said, there's been no greater first boss than Coach Haig and Coach Cash, and whatever I decide to do, I'm extremely excited for and looking forward to it.
Well, it's been great to have you here, and I'll get you out of here on this. Just talk us through a little bit. Here on Monday, obviously, it's going to be a lot more diagnosis, but I know you guys have gone through quite a bit of film at this point on the Bearcats. Looking at their defensive line, they've been playing very well. They shut out Nebraska Kearney last week. What do you feel like are going to be some of the key matchups, and how do you see this matchup between your offensive line and the Bearcat defensive line?
Yeah, they're traditionally have been one of the best D lines in the country, and they're good again this year. It's no shock. But, I think our guys are ready for the challenge. They're similar defense to what we saw last week. I think they do a little bit more, innovative, but excited for the challenge. And I know our guys are going to be ready to step up.
We have got the game for you coming up for homecoming on Saturday. It's a 2 o'clock kickoff, and we'll have the RV Doc pregame show coming your way at 1 o'clock, and we'll have that for you on Mix 104.9. Coach Hoops, really appreciate it. Thanks so much for your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Jackson Hoops, ladies and gentlemen, second-year GA, working with the offense and the offensive line. When we come back, we'll talk some defense. We will talk with Peyton Taylor, cornerback for this Emporia State Hornet defense, live from 627 Event Space. This is Hornet Talk. You're listening to Emporia State football.
Headed to the game or celebrating after? Swing by 627 Event Space Bar and Grill. Whether you're grabbing a burger before kickoff or winding down with a beer after the buzzer, 627 has you covered. Emporia's go-to spot for great food, cold drinks, and unbeatable vibes. 627 Event Space Bar and Grill, the new home for Hornet Talk at 627 Commercial. Proud supporters of the Emporia State University Hornets. Stingers up!
Do you have a new driver in the family? Start them off with just more than the fundamentals of driving from point A to B. Make sure they understand what actually keeps their car reliable and on the road and safe. At Black Creek Diesel Automotive, they can schedule regular maintenance with oil changes, tire rotations, and more. Visit blackcreekdieselautomotive.com or give them a call at 620-343-0086. A safe car helps make a safe driver. Black Creek Diesel Automotive, 3105 West 6th here in Emporia.
As the leaves fall, it's the perfect time to grow your financial know-how. At Emporia State Federal Credit Union, they believe in helping you create a strong financial future. Whether you're learning to budget, save for the holidays, or plan for the new year, they're here to help every step of the way. Free courses and calculators can be found by clicking on the banner at esfcu.com or text or call them today, 620-342-2336. Federally insured by NCUA.
When you need fast care, Newman Regional Health Medical Partners Express Care is here for you. Conveniently located on site at Newman Regional Health, Express Care offers walk-in service for non-emergency illnesses and injuries, no appointment needed. Open 7 days a week to keep you feeling your best. Call today at 620-343-7828. Trust Express Care for quick, reliable treatment. Newman Regional Health Medical Partners Express Care, helping the Hornets achieve their healthy goals.
It's time to fall forward into football season and cheer on your favorite teams. So why not get new gear for you and your family at Sports Connection? Sports Connection carries Emporia High and area high school team apparel, as well as ESU, KU, and K-State gear. They also do custom screen printing for your team, booster club, or your family and fans. Catch the spirit with new fan gear from Sports Connection. Sports Connection, 2721 West 15th Emporia.
Did you get us switched over to shelter insurance?
Actually, I found a deal online.
You did. Does your deal come with award-winning customer service?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Does the deal include a local agent?
Doesn't actually say.
Can we create a customized plan that fits our needs? Let's just call the local shelter agent.
For insurance that fits just right, find a shelter agent near you.
For auto, home, life, or business insurance, see shelter agent Dave Watts. Mix 104.9.
Don't forget, Emporia State does things a little bit differently. It's homecoming weekend. Certainly that gets the shine, but they're also honoring their class in the Athletic Hall of Honor this weekend as well. That'll be Friday at the noon ceremony at the Kansas State Teachers College Ballroom in the Memorial Union. You can get your ticket for $35 at ESUHornets.com. Great class coming in, including Andrew Etheridge off of men's track and field, the 1947 Hornet men's basketball team, and also Marissa Quick off of the Lady Hornet basketball squad from 2011 to 2015. Once again, get your tickets for the Athletic Hall of Honor induction ceremony for the class of 2025. ESUHornets.com. That's ESUHornets.com, and that'll be noon at the KSTC Ballroom. Getting set for the Hornets hosting number 14 Northwest Missouri. That is coming up on Saturday. It is a 2 p.m. kickoff, 1 o'clock. for our coverage on Mix 104.9. And one of the guys playing defense for the Hornets in that game will be cornerback Peyton Taylor, 2 tackles, 25 on the season, redshirt sophomore out of Aurora, Colorado. Peyton Taylor joining us here on Hornet Talk. Peyton, so great to have you. Thanks so much for the time. And you talked to me before and kind of got your bell rung a little bit against Central Oklahoma, but I talked to him, God, when do we see you? Wednesday or Tuesday? And, still in protocol out, but you said, hey, I'm going to be there, and you were there. And how bad did you want to be in that game on Saturday, going on the road to Warrensburg, trying to spoil the Mules' homecoming?
Nah, it was for sure frustrating going out against UCO. But, just trusting the staff and my coaches and just allowing me to work myself back. Dealing with a head injury is never good. So
no, never good. You want to be safe, but you certainly able to get back, and what a performance by the defense. How did you guys as a defense try to bounce back after the Central Oklahoma loss? There were some breakdowns. How did you kind of try to learn from that? But obviously you want to put that in the rear view and get moving and get yourself confident again.
We got into the meeting Sunday, and Coach McDowell told us just to embrace failures, just learning how to take a fail, and take a step back. So, UCO was definitely a step back, but it was a good learning experience, and we needed it.
Well, you guys go into Central Missouri. Talk me through the game plan coming in. I'm talking with cornerback Peyton Taylor off the Hornet defense. How much different was your game plan knowing that they had a running quarterback that was going to be very heavily involved? Not that there weren't others earlier in the year, but I think he was like their number 2 runner in terms of carries. He was going to be very involved in the running game. How did that change how you went about starting to prepare for them?
We just prepare the same every week. We have Landon Boss, one of the best mics. So, you don't got to worry about a lot, especially playing on the outside. As a corner, I don't got to worry about a lot dealing with tackling the quarterback. But just being able to trust the game plan the coaches put out every week and just executing.
You guys are able to get a historic win for Coach Higgins, win 117, winning as head coach in Emporia State history. What's it like to be able to say, hey, I was on that team that got him that win?
It feels amazing because I talked to him after the game, and he likes to put it all on the players. He's told me that it happened because of us, and how he's going to give it to us, but we know he definitely put a lot into it, a lot of hard blood, sweat, and tears. So
from my seat, there's plenty of credit to go around to everybody. Coach Higgins, you guys, the coaching staff, you all, everybody gets a piece. And I did want to ask, it's not necessarily a rivalry game, although I think almost every game in the MIAA feels like a rivalry game just because of how tough the conference is. But how nice is it when you go on the road and you spoil homecoming? You guys have been able to do that twice now this year.
Yeah, it feels great because, just going into every week, like you said, it's not a rivalry, but every game in the MIAA feels like that. But just going in on a homecoming, knowing you're going against a big crowd and just a lot of the distractions around you, but just being able to come out with a win is the most important.
You're still a younger player, redshirt sophomore. What do you feel like has allowed you, and what have you kind of been working on in your own personal game this year?
Just becoming a leader. We lost so many older guys, and we're playing a lot of younger guys and transfers. So becoming a leader and just bringing them into the program because, this is my 3rd year, so I kind of know what's going on around here.
I see over there, Jaron Joseph. He's been on the sideline I don't know if he's at every practice, but he's been at a lot of the practices that I've been at. What's that like having JJ over there, learning, watching him play as a teammate last year, but I'm sure he'll get in your ear every once in a while.
Me and JJ, we're like brothers. Like, that's like my older brother. I work out with them. I text them, talk to them about the game. So just being able to see it from a different perspective and get it from a different perspective, he helps a lot.
Can you keep up with him?
Yeah, I could keep up.
Can you?
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just saying, like you see him, he gets off the bus and you're like, man, that guy, that guy's a football player right there.
For sure.
Hey, that's high price. I'll check with JJ.
Yeah, you guys.
Keep it up. What are you studying at Emporia State?
I study sports management.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
What do you want to do with that?
Just going into like the coaching side of things.
Oh, okay.
Just staying in the football field because I have so much love for the game.
Gotcha. Any particular aspect of football you want to high school, college, pro?
Just wherever I can.
Wherever you get a good fit, sure.
Yes, sir.
Nothing wrong with that. I guess the final couple things there's always extra distractions this week, but you want to enjoy homecoming. But I've been told this. I'm sure you guys have been told this too. Homecoming can be great, but it's never complete without a football win. There's a little added extra pressure. How do you guys try to handle homecoming week? Because I know you want to make it as normal as possible, but it's hard. It's a little harder to do this week, isn't it?
No, I mean, just going into this week knowing we got to go 1-0 again. I mean, it's not any other different week. It's just homecoming, so more people for us to put on the show.
Last thing for you, Northwest Missouri. This is a team that is going to run the football, but they've got a quarterback that's been playing better here. How do you kind of look at, in terms of your personal film study today on the off day, what have you looked at in terms of scouting out the Bearcat offense?
I mean, they do have two quarterbacks. They have two nice quarterbacks, actually. But, I mean, just going in to make sure I can do my part to where no balls are completed on the outside.
Couple of tackles for Peyton Taylor last week, 25 on the season. He'll lead this Hornet defense, taking on number 14 Northwest Missouri. It's coming up on Saturday, 2 o'clock for the kickoff, and the RV Doc pregame show, 1 o'clock. We'll have it for you, Mix 104.9. Peyton's so great. You kept your promise. Thanks so much. He told me, he said, hey, don't worry about it. I'm going to play on Saturday. And he was in there. Peyton Taylor, ladies and gentlemen, playing for Emporia State football, and the Hornets get the win last Saturday. We'll bring back Coach Higgins coming up. We'll talk some history, get you set for homecoming. Live from 627 Event Space, this is Hornet Talk. You're listening to Emporia State football.
Headed to the game or celebrating after? Swing by 627 Event Space Bar and Grill. Whether you're grabbing a burger before kickoff or winding down with a beer after the buzzer, 627 has you covered. Emporia's go-to spot for great food, cold drinks, and unbeatable vibes. 627 Event Space Bar and Grill, the new home for Hornet Talk and proud supporters of the Emporia State University Hornets. Stingers up!
We all make plans for the future, but car accidents, break-ins, and unexpected fires can disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design insurance plans that work for you and help protect what matters most. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Find out how to drive your auto, home, and life needs.
It's time to fall forward into football season and cheer on your favorite team. Catch the spirit with new fan gear from Sports Connection. Sports Connection, 2721 West 15th Emporia.
Newman Regional Health Medical Partners is proud to provide the same orthopedic and sports medicine care trusted by the athletes on the Hornet fields. Their expert medical team serves the greater Emporia area with comprehensive treatment for sprains, fractures, joint pain, and sports-related injuries. Trusted by athletes and available to everyone. Schedule your appointment today with Newman Regional Health Medical Partners at 620-343-2376. Newman Regional Health, achieving healthy goals.
As the leaves fall, it's the perfect time to grow your financial know-how. At Emporia State Federal Credit Union, they believe in helping you create a strong financial future. Whether you're learning to budget, save for the holidays, or plan for the new year, they're here to help every step of the way. Free courses and calculators can be found by clicking on the banner at esfcu.com or text or call them today, 620-342-2336. Federally insured by NCUA.
Do you have a new driver in the family? Start them off with just more than the fundamentals of driving from point A to B. Make sure they understand what actually keeps their car reliable and on the road and safe. At Black Creek Diesel Automotive, they can schedule regular maintenance with oil changes, tire rotations, and more. Visit blackcreekdieselautomotive.com or give them a call at 620-343-0086. A safe car helps make a safe driver. Black Creek Diesel Automotive, 3105 West 6th, here in Emporia.
Mix 104.9.
Homecoming week just getting started for Emporia State. It'll culminate with a 2 p.m. kickoff on Saturday. The number 14 Bearcats are coming into town. Pre-game coverage at 1 o'clock right here on Mix 104.9. We welcome back in head coach Garrett Higgins. And Coach, I wanted to ask you about those 4 double-digit play drives in the second half. Wasn't really Hornet-like in terms of, getting the ball snapped really quick. I think all of them took at least 3.5 minutes off the clock, but man, you guys were able to sustain drives exactly when you need them. And you guys were so productive, 5 for 5 in the red zone, and I think 4 of 5 on touchdowns in the game.
Yeah, and I think we're over 50% on third down too as well.
Yes, you were.
The big drive that we had is the one that took over 5 minutes to really, get us close to closing out the game. Of course, the defense came out and really shut the door and closed it. But for us to be able to take time off the clock, and you're right, we didn't play with the type of pace that we normally like to play with, but
you guys were effective.
But we were effective, and I think when you have a brand new starter at quarterback, that's going to be part of it. And hopefully we can get back this week now that he's got a game under his belt and begin to play with a little bit more tempo.
And he didn't have eye-popping numbers, although I will say 14 for 17 in the second half.
Second half, that's pretty eye-popping.
That does pop for sure. But you look at the wide receivers, none of them had just like a massive game. But, man, it felt like, I know there was a couple of drops, but it felt like Ethan and Kingsley and Malik, they all had such big catches. It seemed like almost every single catch that they had in the second half was to sustain a drive or to get you in the red zone or it was on third down.
Yeah, it was always in those critical situations.
Gosh,
that
so many times.
They came up with, a big catch. Like the throw and catch by Kingsley Bennett in the fourth quarter, and I can't remember the down and distance. It was third down maybe, and it was third, and I think Kingsley scored on that play. That ball was thrown into a small window. All right, it's like a gutter.
Sure.
Okay, and he pinpointed it in there, and Kingsley made the catch. It was a tough catch because he got hit.
Took the hit.
I
think that was a first half touchdown. I think Max Middleton was in the second half.
There you go.
I think that was a really good throw too. Kent made me promise. They said you can't let you bury this. He said he was going to try to give all the credit to somebody else, but I do need a round of applause from the Hornet fans for win number 117, please. He is the winningest coach ever. It's at your alma mater. He said, hey, you can't let him just try to shove this aside. You said at some point you're going to talk about it. This is just as good of a time as any. But I do want to know what this means to you to come back and do this and just to do it in the way that you did it too.
I said this yesterday. Words really can't put it in. I'm not the best. I'm from Oklahoma. Okay, so I'm not the most eloquent speaker to really put it into words. But the way I look at it is, I've been very just blessed and grateful to have the players that I have had here, and I have went back and thought about all. I mean, there's been so many players and coaches. And it's about the memory-making moments to me are the most important part of getting to this milestone, because the journey, the process, and, the relationships that I have built through my time here with players, with coaches is really second to none. I love this university. I'm a proud product of Emporia State. Never in my life did I ever dream, when I was standing on the sidelines, which I did quite a bit, dream about coming back to my alma mater and being the head coach. I knew I always wanted to get into coaching just because of my father, and growing up, I knew how important it was in my life. I knew from the get-go when I was 6 years old what I was going to do in my life. Just didn't, have that opportunity to do it here. And Kent Weiser, it wouldn't be possible if he would not have given me an opportunity to be the head coach here and then stick with me. Because, those first 6 years were, man, they were tough. They were difficult. They really were. But I never have caught a touchdown pass, haven't ran a touchdown in any of these games that we have won. It's about the players and the plays that they've made. It's about the coach. I mean, I always say football is the ultimate team sport, all right, because you need everybody to get the job done. And there's been a lot of just great people in my life to help me get to those wins.
Well, I think to steal one of your phraseologies, it's the ultimate team sport, and every other team sport has this too, but it also feels like it's the ultimate team behind the team sport too, with, guys who will come in and whether they're a coach or they're a player. I mean, I had to fill in on Coach's Corner today. I talked with Coach Goodman at Emporia High. He said, man, he can't tell you how important Coach has been for me as a man, as a family, as a coach. And so just, you make time for all these people that make time for your program, and you make them feel special.
Well, that to me, those are the memory-making moments, that to me is what is the most important. Records are made to be broken. 117 is just a number. It's about everything else that is really, and with my time here and with the relationships that I've built, it is something that I'm very grateful for and humble.
Well, for right now, 117 is your number at Emporia State, although it could be 118 on Saturday. And another number, if you win on Saturday, you guys will go 3-0 at homecoming this year.
That is right. When you said that to me earlier, I was like, I thought you were talking about our homecoming.
Sure.
We would love to do that. We've gotten 2 on the road, and those are always difficult, I think, when you go to somebody else's homecoming.
Missouri Western, that was a blowout. Obviously, last week, that was a tight one. And I know that it's going to be a challenge against Northwest Missouri, a team that has, reascended to the top of the MIAA and currently ranked 14th in the country, 7-1. Just give us an initial thought on Northwest Missouri and the Bearcats as you've kind of scattered them out here over the weekend.
Yeah, they are a typical Northwest Bearcat team, even though they have a brand new head football coach. Their defensive coordinator's been there for forever. So, I mean, they starts with their defense. I mean, they're very good. They're very good up front. This will be the best defensive line that we faced. To be the best defense that we faced all year. Offensively, they're playing 2 quarterbacks. One guy is more of a runner than a thrower. So and their offensive line is big and physical. So it's going to be a big test. But I tell you what, we're looking forward to it. And I know that our players will be ready to play, and it should be a great homecoming game. And I look for it to be loud. Honestly. And, looking forward to the game on Saturday. We know what's in front of us, but I believe in this football team and coaching staff that we'll put ourselves in the best position to get a win.
Yeah, Hornet fans, coaches, we need you there. It needs to be solid black. There's going to be plenty of green there, but it needs to be a sea of black that they walk into on Saturday. Coach, congratulations again on the milestone. We'll talk to you later in the week. Good luck Saturday.
You bet.
Head coach Garen Higgins, ladies and gentlemen, the winningest head coach in Emporia State football history. That's our show for today. We'll talk to you Saturday from Welch Stadium here in Emporia for homecoming. Thanks to everybody for coming out tonight. For listening online, KVOE.com/listen. Thanks to the great folks here at 627 Event Space. Make sure you tip your server. We'll see you next week for the show right back here at 627 Event Space Bar and Grill. Ashley and the crew can't wait to serve you. 627 Commercial, downtown Emporia. Thanks to Grace Ish back at our KFFX studios. I'm Blake Cripps saying good night and Stingers up.